Adam has arrived.
Hey, Maurice and Odie gonna take over like Zach and Cody. Black and Snurdy is the best podcast. Gonna boom like Wile E. Coyote. Gonna meet magic, they move like they hairy. Ain't talking about mental health, no, it's not scary. You know that she coming up with the astrology. Mo got a comic and that's the best policy. Maurice the goat, talking about animation cause you know. Odie, she moving wavy like the boat. Watching some movies and she taking notes. Yeah, kick back, listen. Black and Snurdy have risen. Upload on a mission. 5 stars, never dissing. Black and Snurdy, ooh. Black and Snurdy, yeah. Black and Snurdy.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Black and Snurdy podcast, the only podcast where two sexy black nerds get together to shoot the shit. I am Mo, aka Kid Licorish.
And I'm Odie.
And together we are the aforementioned Snurds here on episode 140 of the Black and Snurdy podcast. That might be the first time that you pushed the thing.
It's not the first time.
That it actually was.
It's not the first time.
Yeah.
I bet you it wasn't.
We're not doing this. We're not doing any bets.
All right.
But I'm pretty sure it is the
bet?
first time. No, I don't want to bet.
All right. You know you're wrong.
No, I don't know that I'm wrong. Because I'm not
if
wrong.
You don't know you're wrong. If you're not wrong, then bet me.
No, that's not how that works.
Why not?
Because how would we even quantify this?
How would go and look at the other episodes?
There's 140
Well,
episodes of this, and I'm not looking back at all of them or listening back to all.
You don't want
to
bet because you know you're wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyhow, how are you doing?
I'm feeling good. I have a day off tomorrow, which is great for Eid. Eid Mubarak to all who celebrate. And yeah, I'm just, here relaxing, trying to get myself ready for the week. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I realized I should have cleaned my glasses before starting the podcast.
Yeah, mine are kind of squirmy.
Yeah. Well, don't use that.
It's a soft cloth.
It is. This is rough material.
It's not rough.
And those are.
It's not rough.
Yes, it is. It is rough compared to the actual cloth that they give you for eyeglasses.
Where is it? Do you have one in your handy?
One is in my bag.
Well, it's far away.
Okay. Well, whatever. Anyhow, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine and dandy. With that being said, shall we start things off?
Sure. We have a lot of things to talk about. So
when you want a hot meal without a big deal, what are you gonna pick?
Pop topics.
All right, so we're gonna kick it off with some more political shenanigans. So first, 45/47, the president has announced that he is overhauling the U.S. elections. So one, he wants to require proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections. Mail-in ballots must be received by election day. States risk losing federal funding if they don't comply, and they will face legal challenges and concerns. This whole situation is facing legal challenges because folks are concerned about disenfranchisement. I mean, it's very interesting that I am talking to my students about the Reconstruction and how the white supremacists tried to force black people not to be able to vote. And we're here at this again. I mean, this is new. People have been talking about being disenfranchised when it comes to voting for years. It constantly comes up every election. But, here we go. I mean, I don't know why this is an issue. You cannot vote unless you are registered. It's a whole process. So I don't know why we are having this again. Well, I mean, I know why. It's obviously they don't want to have elections that might get them kicked out of office. But, here we are. Even though it's funny, I don't know if you ever saw a few months ago a video about Trump talking about how Elon or someone else basically he was saying he rigged the election so that they could win. So it's like the pot calling the kettle black with everything that he says. He's constantly being a hypocrite because if he's talking about rigging elections, but then is so worried about there being like election tampering, it's just it would be comical if it wasn't so sad.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like it on one hand, it does kind of make sense to me to like at the very least it makes how do I say
Which
this?
part makes sense?
I guess making sure that people are what is it that he's doing? Making sure that people are registered who are voting or something?
The order you need to have proof of citizenship, a requirement. And
when you're actually voting or when you register?
I guess when you are trying to vote.
I'm not bringing my fucking birth certificate down to the Barclays Center to vote.
But the thing about it is voting in federal elections by people who are not citizens is already illegal.
Yeah.
So you can't do it.
It just makes it makes wanting to vote harder.
Yeah.
Because I already have to go through hoops to vote. Remember we did that? We checked to see if we were registered on this podcast and how weird it was. And like we had to like put our names in a very specific way in order to figure out where we were supposed to be registered and stuff. The whole thing
is just bullshit.
Oh, and speaking of registering to vote, that reminds me, we have to get our real IDs in.
Yeah. They keep pushing it back.
Did they push it back?
No, but I'm saying
I thought it was May.
No, now it's May, but I feel like they've been pushing it. They keep like pushing it back over and over. It's like one time they say it's going to be in 2021, and then it's 22, now 23, 24. Like,
well,
when do you actually need it?
Well, it doesn't seem like they're pushing it back anymore. Like it seems to be coming up. So
yeah. Well, the AP,
I tried to get a reservation at the DMV, and they're not taking them.
Why not?
I don't know. I got to the point where it was like select the date, and the whole calendar was blank. Like you could not select the date. So I guess you gotta just go up there and walk in, and
that's already it's already bullshit. Yeah. And the AP News says that according to a report by the Brennan Center for Justice and some other groups, an estimated 9% of U.S. citizens of voting age, or about 21.3 million people, do not have their proof of citizenship readily available. So that could be maybe a passport, a birth certificate, something to show that you are born here. That's not, a lot of people don't just have those things.
Yeah,
or
just
maybe
at
their
the
parents
ready.
have them, and you know how at least Black parents, your mom is not going to go under her mattress to give you your birth certificate unless it is like extremely necessary. So it's just another way to try to get people either to not vote or to scare them away from voting so that they can get in. Like they can make sure that the people that they want can get in. Trump has already been saying that he is definitely running for a third term, which is illegal. There's only been one president, and I believe that was Roosevelt, because it was during World War II. I'm
not a historian, so I
believe
can't
it was World War II. That he became president for a third term. Are you looking it up? And that was something that was like the people wanted, because they were saying,
it was Roosevelt who had 3 terms.
But that's the only time that that's happened. And the way that, even just going all the way back to the American Revolution, the reason why George Washington left when he did was because he said, like, we are not in a monarchy. We want to make sure that the people we can have a smooth transition of power. We need to show them how to be able to vote and have this democracy working. So Trump has been saying since even before this term that he is going to, if you vote for him, you won't ever have to vote again, which is already insane.
Yeah. That sounds like a nightmare. That sounds like a living nightmare.
Yeah. And when people were asking him, well, how are you going to make sure you're going to get a third term? And he just said methods. Methods.
Methods.
He's going to use methods.
He's a real method man.
So they would have to have a constitutional amendment, which, I mean, it sounds like that would be difficult, but depending on who is in Congress at that time, who knows? And so I don't know. That to me is very scary. And Trump has also signed another. He's been signing a lot of executive orders.
He really has. Week. It's like he is signing executive orders just like that song from Hamilton. Why you always sound like you're running out of time?
And Hamilton, he wrote the other 81. Like, it's just too much. You're not even writing
it's not like he's writing these up. He's just putting pen to paper in his John Hancock on it.
Yes. So one of the most recent executive orders is targeting anti-American ideology in the Smithsonian exhibits. So if you've ever been to the Smithsonian or one of the many of them that there are in DC, you know that they have variety of things. They're talking about American history, we have the Black American History Museum. There's the Jewish History Museum, the Native American one. There's so many there. And they just talk about what's happened in American history, both the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that is when you are talking about history, you cannot sugarcoat it or whitewash it to only have things be like that we're showing you from a good angle. And he does not want any of those things because I'm sure they're too woke in DEI. The order was titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History, which is ironic because right now we are in the most insane time of American history, of modern American history.
It is pretty stupid, the type of history that is being made.
The order singles out the National Museum of African American History and Culture as problematic, saying that informs visitors that hard work, individualism, and the nuclear family are aspects of white culture, which
it is.
I am so confused, but like hard work, individualism, and nuclear family are aspects of white culture. I don't understand where he would have even gotten that from.
How come that gets to be white culture? Who gets to dictate what is white culture and what isn't?
Obviously Trump and all of his. I want Trump to take an American history test. Have him name all the presidents.
I want him to take a cognitive test. Because his fucking brains is turning into spaghetti.
It's already. Well, I mean, it probably already was.
Yeah. He already can't speak articulately.
Yeah, he can. He's dumb. He's a dumb man.
He's a dumb man.
And they're also the order also said that the American Women's History Museum plans to celebrate male athletes participating in women's sports. When has that happened?
Say it again.
It says that the American Women's History Museum plans to celebrate male athletes participating in women's sports.
Is that a common thing?
No, because I mean, first
of all,
are
they talking about trans?
They couldn't possibly be
athletes?
talking about trans athletes because they are constantly saying how that's such a negative thing. So I don't understand. Like, who are they going to talk about? Caitlyn Jenner?
I guess Caitlyn Jenner would be the one.
That like,
But actually, does even Caitlyn Jenner count? Because Caitlyn Jenner was
when she was in sports. She was identifying as a man.
Yeah, she was identifying as a man during that time period.
I do not know why or how that's going to work. But I mean, everything has just been bullshit. This whole just one. If you want to boil this administration down to one word, bullshit.
Yes.
Because there's nothing else about it that makes sense. They also...
Side note, did you ever watch that Penn and Teller show bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to watch it too. But then I
be
found
funny.
out that.
But didn't one of them do something weird?
Did they?
I don't know. I feel like one of them might have
Penn
been.
or Teller?
I don't know. I don't remember which one, but
I feel like Penn is a libertarian or some shit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So in other, well, okay. Do you want to talk about the Tufts student first or the Signal Gate?
Let's do the Tufts student first.
Okay, so a doctoral student at Tufts University was detained this past week by federal officers on her way to dinner. And we have a video of that to show you.
So I always hate these undercover cop videos when they like swarm somebody. Like I don't know if I've ever told this story on this podcast, but I was swarmed by an undercover unit.
For what?
Open container in the subway. Yeah.
How many of them like swarmed? It was more than
It was
one?
6 or 7.
Over an open container?
Yes. And then I pulled out my military ID and they let me go with no ticket or anything like that.
Where was that military ID the last summer?
Yeah.
When we were being accosted.
Yeah, that's real.
This thing, what happened was honestly really scary. These are, if you see the video, these are plainclothes officers coming out of nowhere. Turkish national Ramessa Ulsterk, I hope I said her name correctly. She was leaving her home in Somerville, Massachusetts on Tuesday, and they took her and moved her to Louisiana before a judge ordered her to be kept in Massachusetts. No charges have been filed as of yet, but she was detained over alleged Hamas support. Of course, people are saying that this was political targeting due to her pro-Palestinian activism. And Tufts and her supporters have been demanding more due process protection. The administration has been saying that they are going to crack down on immigrants who have expressed political views, but also like everyday people, like American citizens, born here who have any sort of political views that are against the administration, which is just fascism. I never can say this word correctly. Fascism 101.
Yes.
This is the fucking Gestapo.
Yeah.
Just coming to pick you up out of your home, on your way to class, on your way to freaking dinner, because you're saying something that they don't like, which is insane. And then to move her from going all the way to Louisiana, like, why would you?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, that's so much. Like from Massachusetts to Louisiana, all the way back to Massachusetts. That's torture in and of itself. Nobody should ever have to go to Louisiana.
Well, I love Louisiana. Well,
not under arrest.
No, not under arrest, but in general, Louisiana, specifically like New Orleans and Baton Rouge, are nice.
I'm talking about while you're under arrest.
Well, yes. Well, under duress.
Yes, everybody wants a po' boy, okay? But I'm pretty sure they didn't give her any of the fucking crawdads while she was down there. I'm pretty sure they did not give her any jambalaya.
But people were asking, like, bystanders were watching her, were asking, like, why are you hiding your faces? Which is very true. Why are you hiding your faces if you're the police? There's no need for you to hide.
Because they
your
knew
face.
that there was probably cameras watching, just in case.
But U.S. News said that she is being held at an immigration and customs enforcement facility in Louisiana, and I want to say that Louisiana is where they sent that Columbia student who had been a part of pro-Palestinian.
And just because you're pro-Palestinian doesn't make you necessarily pro-Hamas.
Duh. But everything is Hamas to them. Everything is Hamas. You can't say one.
Everything is Hamas.
You can't say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be bombing Palestinian children and elderly folks and just everyday civilians during Ramadan while you're supposed to have this ceasefire. Mm-hmm. Or else you're Hamas. Like, you can't say anything about it because they are going to try and detain you, which is insane. One of the spokespersons from the government said a visa is a privilege, not a right. Glorifying and supporting terrorists who kill Americans is grounds for a visa issuance to be terminated. This is common sense security. It's not common sense. None of the things about this is common sense. Marco Rubio said, we gave you a visa to come and study and get a degree, not become a social activist to tear up our university's campuses. No, none of the pro-Palestinian protests have been the cause of any American university being torn up. It has always been the folks who are pro-Israel, who are coming in there trying to fight the pro-Palestinian people, causing a ruckus, causing damage, beating people, harassing people. Like, those are not the ones that you need to be going after. And it's just really frustrating and sad that this is where we are right now in America.
Yeah.
Because the student from Columbia that I mentioned, his name was Mohammed Kahil, who was a legal U.S. Resident who's also facing deportation. And after he was arrested, the president said, we know there are more students at Columbia and other universities across the country who have engaged in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American activity. We will find, apprehend, and deport those terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again. Which that is very scary because I don't feel like never to return again sounds like you're actually going to send them someplace.
That sounds like you're going to destroy them.
So this whole thing is just constantly, it's disgusting. And speaking of Marco Rubio and our government's just collapse, have you been reading about Signalgate?
A little bit, but elucidate me.
Did you say elucidate you?
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Like in Aristocats. Well, elucidate you.
So this past week, the Twitter has been a flurry because there was a Signal chat that went viral because the Pete Hegseth, who is our Secretary of Defense, accidentally added the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic to a group chat on Signal. And the editor-in-chief, his name of The Atlantic, his name is Jeffrey Goldberg. And so they were discussing in the group chat military strikes in Yemen, and it was called the Houthi Small Group Chat. Now, if
this, can I just say that, like, it's very upsetting to me that, like, military efforts are being discussed in the form of a group chat. It feels like that should be an in-person kind of thing.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure. And also,
like, nobody should be coordinating military efforts while on the toilet.
Well, it's illegal for them to do that. Like, you're not allowed, because I remember when Kamala was talking, she was doing an interview sometime last year, and she was saying how one of the things that she missed about by being vice president was she couldn't have her family group chats anymore because there are a lot of various like security worries that you have to, and that they can't just have you in this in various group chats. You have very secure things on your phone. And the people in the group chat were Pete Hegseth, Michael Waltz, who else? Marco Antonio Rubio, JD Vance, Tulsi Gabbard, I think Brian McCormick, John Ratcliffe, and a few other people. Notably, Trump was not in there. Don't know why.
Maybe it's because he's illiterate. Maybe he can't read.
That's very possible. So when he wrote this whole op-ed or article about this, and it said that in the beginning at 8:05 a.m. on Friday, March 14th, Michael Waltz texted the group team, you should have a statement of conclusions with taskings per the president's guidance this morning in your high side inboxes. High side means classified computer or communication systems. State and DOD, we developed a suggested notification list for regional allies and partners. Joint staff is setting this AM a more specific sequence of events in the coming days, and we will work with DOD to ensure COS, OBP, and POTUS are briefed. Outside of DOD and POTUS, I don't know what all these other acronyms are for.
Yeah, it's honestly a lot like my job working where I work. It's a constant barrage of acronyms, and I have no idea what any of them mean. I tried in the beginning asking, what does that mean? A lot of times they'll just be like, oh, I actually don't know what the acronym means. I'm just so used to saying too much jargon.
I'm like, all right, fine. So here I put up in the video so that you could see some of what they were talking about. So at this one part, JD Vance said, if you think we should do it, let's go. I hate bailing Europe out again. Let's make sure our messaging is tight here. And if there are things we can do up front to minimize risk to Saudi oil facilities, we should do it. And then in response, Pete said, VP, I fully share your loathing of European freeloading. It's pathetic. But Mike is correct. We are the only ones on the planet on our side of the ledger who can do this. Nobody else even close. Question is timing. I feel like now is a good time as any, given POTUS directive to reopen shipping lanes. I think we should go, but POTUS still retains 24 hours of decision space. SM said, as I heard it, the president was clear, green light, but we soon make clear to Egypt and Europe what we expect in return. We also need to figure out how to enforce such a requirement, e.g., if Europe doesn't remunerate, then what? If the U.S. successfully restores freedom of navigation at great cost, there needs to be some further economic gain extracted in return. And then this text message, which is, I'm not going to read, there's so much, it's just like a team update for the bombing. But this post came out after the original article because Goldberg was saying that he didn't initially put all the signal messages in the article because he thought it might be something that could be classified and impact national security. He reached out to them, and they've been lying through their teeth ever since, talking about none of this was classified, even though they said it was classified in the original like group chat message of like, this is supposed to be in your classified inbox, but okay. And so this is more of them talking about like the type of the launches that they are going to have, what type and what they're going to do, et cetera, et cetera. And it's just like the fact that this is where American national security is really appalling.
It's like the most boring, like honestly, these kind of text messages is what I'm going to imagine anytime we're playing Risk now. Like, I'm just going to imagine that, like, when I'm attacking Yakuts, it's because like somebody sent a group chat text about it.
Well, apparently the NSA, which is the National Security Agency, in February, they had warned about vulnerabilities in using encrypted messaging applications like Signal, and basically saying that it's not safe. And you're not supposed to be using, due to just in general for the government, they're not supposed to be using any sort of like disappearing messages or things that are encrypted like this, because we have the freedom of information. If you are sending information out, as long as it's not classified, the American people should be able to see it. And even then, I think things get unclassified after like 30 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So using something like this, it's like how many more of these sort of messages have been going on? And especially, this is vulnerable information. You are putting in talks about a freaking attack that you're putting up in across the world, yet you are putting it in Signal, something that could easily possibly be hacked, and nobody would know, or like all these people's lives could be at risk. American lives could be at risk, our military fleets. This is just like the height of buffoonery, chicanery, and shenanigans.
What if this is just a covert operation in and of itself to get people to go back, get the government to go back to using Blackberries?
Ooh.
Because, like, remember how BlackBerry touted itself as
we
did
watch that documentary.
Secured. It wasn't a doc. It was a movie.
Not documentary. That movie.
Yeah, the dude from Always Sunny was in it. It's not a documentary.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie. But no. Yeah, this is clownery. Like, and this is why it is important to know who is in your group chat when you're creating it. Yes. Remember, like a few months back, like we found out that there was some random doctor that was in our group chat. So I took it upon myself to create the new group chat. Yeah. And then like I had to do it like 5 different times.
And I'm still getting multiple group messages.
Because Gavin isn't in it. And, because Uncle Bobby isn't in it. Like, I'm like I didn't have to do this at all. I'm just bored at work on a Sunday, and I figured I'd do this since no one else is gonna.
Well, everyone has been laughing at them and calling them out. Everyone's been calling them out because it's just been dumb. Senator Mark Kelly said the Signal incident is what happens when you have the most unqualified security of defense we've ever seen. We're lucky it didn't cost any service members their lives, but for the safety of our military and our country, Secretary Hegseth needs to resign. He does. They all need to resign. They're all idiots. None of them know what they're doing. And they keep talking about these DEI hires. Y'all are all DEI hires.
Yeah.
And the worst kind, the ones with no qualifications.
Yeah, because diversity and inclusion and equity inclusion does include idiots, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're an idiot and you got the job just because we need to fill out this rank full of idiots, hey, that's DEI for you.
The press secretary for the White House, Caroline Leavitt, wrote, "The Atlantic has conceded these were not war plans. The entire story was another hoax written by a Trump hater who is well known for his sensationalist spin." I don't know where in any of the articles that you read that, because I didn't see anything about this not being war plans. If you are dropping bombs and talking about F-16s or whatever they're called,
they should have cross-referenced it with like news just to make sure.
Like they're all just so dumb. And it's like, these are the people that are running the country.
Yeah.
They're the ones that have the codes. These people have the nuclear codes. That is insane. I'd rather you give the nuclear codes to my 2-year-old nephew because he would be smarter and handle them better than these nincompoops. And I can't believe that this is what we have to deal with. It's every day, it's a new story about their incompetence. But moving on.
Yeah.
To more shenanigans and chicanery connected to our government. Elon Musk has sold X to XAI in a $33 billion all-stock deal.
I hope the first thing that XAI does is turn it back to Twitter. Because I hate calling it X.
I never call it X. Never. I'm never calling it
I
X.
have to at work, unfortunately.
Why do you have to call it X at work? When you're talking to people?
When I'm writing protocols, updates for specifically that
His
channel.
mama named him Twitter. I'm going to call him Twitter. So I feel somebody said this is about money laundering, which is very possible. But I don't even, first of all, XAI is Elon's artificial intelligence startup. And I have never seen it. I've never heard of it. I don't know if that's Grok, like the AI chatbot thing that it has.
Yeah.
So
have you used Grok?
No, and
I don't use Grok.
Because
I don't even know for what reason would I use Grok.
I don't need to have AI on my social media.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Maybe like I could technically understand when people they have like because I know on like Yahoo they have a little AI thing where you can consolidate the information. It'll give you like bullet points.
Sure.
That okay, maybe. But for social media, I'm tweeting things out. Why do I have to have an AI tweet for me? Like that
doesn't make any sense.
That's stupid.
AI can't get my sense of humor.
Exactly. And if it can, that's a problem.
Dry, sardonic wit.
On Twitter, X wrote on the 28th of March, the combination values XAI at 80 billion and X at 33 billion, 45 billion less, 12 billion debt. Don't really understand what that means. Since its founding 2 years ago, XAI has rapidly become one of the leading AI labs in the world, building models and data centers at unprecedented speed and scale. X is the digital town square where more than 600 million active users go to find the real-time source of ground truth, and in the last 2 years has been transformed into one of the most efficient companies in the world. Positioning is
it is not efficient.
To deliver scalable
in no way, shape,
future
or form.
growth.
You know how I know it's not efficient? Because anytime Keith Lee is trending, it's not the wrestler Keith Lee. It's they can't even decipher the algorithm that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Because I'm not interested. No offense to foodie Keith Lee, because he's also a UFC fighter and he get my ass. But it seems nice, so maybe he wouldn't. But I'm interested in the wrestler Keith Lee. So why is it showing me Atlanta has poor
food
scampi?
No good scampi in Atlanta. It's shenanigans. I'm sure that he's just doing this.
No good scampi in Atlanta. That's the title of the episode.
I'm sure he's just doing this to find another way to steal money somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
And
he made like a cool 30-something billion off of it.
Yeah, he did. He did. In the last Trump, the Trump adjacent story and news, Tiger Woods has told us that he has a new love in his life. He tweeted, "Love is in the air and life is better with you by my side. We look forward to our journey through life together. At this time, we would appreciate privacy for all those close to our hearts."
Then why did you post it?
There it is.
Like, you didn't have to post. If you want privacy, like, don't flaunt your new white lady.
He's dating Vanessa Trump, who is Donald Trump Jr.'s ex-wife.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't, but still, there's still no reason to share it. Who cares? Maybe it's because we haven't been talking about Tiger Woods lately, that he feels the need that he needs to, like, get some traction going, but it's unnecessary. Nobody cares. I don't care about her. You don't care about her. Listeners, viewers, if y'all care about her, please let me know. Nobody cares. Go along with her. You're Trump.
So she's not a.
She's not a Trump by birth. She's Trump by marriage.
She's a Trump by marriage. Yeah, I would do anything possible to try to get rid of that name.
Yeah. Maybe he should. Well, maybe that's why.
Maybe she's hooking up with the Woods so that she can get that name.
But also, just go back to your original name.
Yeah, all the paperwork.
Like, either way, she's gonna have to fill out paperwork. She has to be married again.
I guess so.
Just do it. Who cares? Like, nobody is forcing you to keep this last name. You're keeping it because you know that it gets you into doors that otherwise you wouldn't be in.
Mm-hmm. And just a quick warning to anybody who may be listening to this or watching this on Instagram. Apparently they are now cutting things off at the hour mark.
Yes.
So if you are watching this on Instagram and you want to continue to watch what else we have to say for the rest of this podcast, go to our YouTube channel, go to our Spotify channel. You can see the full video uncut and uninterrupted there.
YouTube, Facebook, Spotify.
Yeah, YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify for the uncut videos.
Learned that the hard way this week.
Yes, we did, unfortunately. And I will be now conducting these warnings every episode. Warning. Oh, hell, I have that. I don't know where it is. Here we go.
Warning.
Well, someone else that needs a warning. Sean Kingston.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
So I don't know if you all remember, but a few months ago, we were talking about how Sean Kingston and his mom were being charged with wire fraud.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a video of them like running out of court because they were being very nonchalant. But apparently this week, the two of them were found guilty.
Yeah.
In a Florida courtroom.
You won't be seeing any beautiful girls anytime soon because he is going to jail.
So federal prosecutors said that Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, attempted to defraud their victims by using fraudulent documents in exchange for luxury jewelry, cars, and other goods. He apparently began crying with his hands clasped as the jury read its verdict inside the Fort Lauderdale courtroom. His mother, who's 62, was accused by the judge of being the fixer and nerve center in charge of this little scheme. And she apparently has past convictions for similar crimes. So it's not looking good for them. She served 1.5 years in prison after pleading guilty to stealing $160,000 in a bank fraud scheme back in 2006.
Oh, so she's like,
yeah,
I would say a pro, but
yeah,
pros don't get caught.
Her name on Instagram is Mama Kingston, which to me sounds really like you are a what is it called? Criminal mastermind. If your name is Mama Kingston, like you're sitting back there, you're like chair smoking a cigar.
Again,
bodyguards
though,
behind you.
How much of a mastermind can you be? You got caught. You got caught for what? For wire fraud. Like that's not even a cool crime. That's like one of those white collar crimes. And they're going
to white collar prison probably.
Yeah,
Camp
but
Cupcake.
Yeah, but Camp Cupcake, but they're gonna go there for a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, usually white collar crimes are like, oh, like just a few years. You know what I mean? Like a few years in white collar prison. Like
No,
they're going
what
to.
is it? Madoff was in a white collar crime, and he was in jail for. I think he died in jail. You can go for a long time.
He was already pretty old.
But you can go for, like, if you're doing fraud stuff, you can go for a really long time, especially if you've done, like, if you've been defrauding out of a lot of money. But, you know, who knows? Apparently, Sean Kingston yelled out, "Protect my mother," to the U.S. Marshals as they took her into custody.
I'm sure she'll be fine. She'll start a old biddies gang. The Krumpets.
The Krumpets.
I don't know.
The Krumpets is actually a very good name for older women doing illegal things.
Yeah. The Krumpets.
Kingston was placed under house arrest with bond conditions of $200,000 surety bond in cash. He also has to put up a relative's $500,000 house as a part of his bond requirement.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
sorry, Sean Kingston, but bye-bye.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
Yes.
Because stealing money out of from people, and it's like, I'm curious about what the people that he was stealing stuff from.
Is
like,
Sean Kingston Jamaica?
Yeah, they're Jamaican. I don't know if he was born here.
Mm-hmm.
His mother, I believe, was born in Jamaica. I think that he was. I don't know if he was born here or in, I think, maybe Florida. But you know.
So come on, man. Like you're letting your brethren down by trying to commit scams. That's not what you're supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about one love.
One love. One heart. Let's get together and feel alright.
Is this song about fucking?
Possibly.
One Maybe. Love, is that the beast with the two backs? The horizontal mambo. Ugh, I hated how my mom always used to call it the
horizontal mambo.
Yeah, the horizontal mambo.
I've never heard of the horizontal mambo. What was the other thing they used to something? Oh, there was another like dance reference people used to call it. Because I remember they said it in
doing the bump?
No, they said it in
or the butt. Is it the butt members. Or the bump?
Doing the bump. Wait, doing the butt.
Oh, it is doing the butt.
Doing the butt.
Because I used to thought it used to say do it in the butt.
Sexy. Ain't nothing wrong.
We're doing the butt all night long.
Ooh yeah, yeah. Ooh yeah, 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 yeah.
Ooh, did you hear about that OnlyFans person who had a 53-person gangbang in the back door and had to go get stitches?
No, I didn't. But that sounds.
It came up on my timeline.
Like you would require stitches.
But apparently, it was like the most painful experience of her life, like going into surgery. But she's when she recovers, she's game for doing it again.
I just wish people would just read a book. Like
reading a book doesn't get you money. Doesn't get you influence.
Did you hear about? I don't think we talked about it on the podcast, but did you hear about that girl who had sex with was it 100 guys?
Yeah.
Guys?
Yeah, it was.
I think it was 1,000.
I think it had to be 1,000
because it was they got 5 minutes each.
Yeah,
I saw something that I had not verified, but allegedly she's pregnant. That is it's a legend.
Of course,
I don't know if she actually.
Of course, she would be.
Pregnant. All right, moving on to happier news.
Is it happier news? Oh, okay, yeah, it's there. Okay.
So it is Netflix is ordering a pilot for the sequel, which is centered on Whitley and Dwayne's daughter at Hillman College.
Oh, okay.
Debbie Allen is going to direct and produce. Felicia Pride, who I really have loved her work over the years. She's written for Bel Air, Grey's Anatomy. She's going to be the showrunner.
Now, is this going to be a serious dramatization like Bel Air is, or is it going to be a comedy?
That is a good question. I didn't see here. I didn't see here if they're going to do it anything differently, because it's a part of Netflix comedy department.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. So then it must be a sitcom.
That it's still going to be a sitcom.
I know my parents love me. I don't know the rest. And it was playing at that party that we was at a few weeks ago.
It was.
Yeah. During the Black TV show sitcom portion of the DJ set.
So if we know the original cast, which I'll put up the picture again so everyone can see, the original cast was Jasmine Guy, Kadeem Hardison, Dawn Lewis, Daryl M. Bell, Sinbad, Charnel Brown, Cree Summer, and Glenn Herman, which I think all of them might be here in this picture.
No, Sinbad's not in there.
Oh, yeah, Sinbad's not in there.
And Cree Summer's not in there.
So
have you seen Cree Summers lately?
I have.
Okay, and I'll just leave it at that.
I have. So
I love her Pharrell hats.
Casting is currently underway for their daughter Deborah Wayne. I'm very curious. I mean, like, I will watch it, but do you feel like we need to have this sequel?
A sequel? Yeah, we should. If Full House can get Fuller House, how come we can't get a more different world? A slightly different world. An even more different world. Call it something like that. Differenter world.
A differenter world.
Yeah. A whole new world.
Oh, yes, a whole new world.
Well, that would be the sequel to Aladdin.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Aladdin's child.
I don't know.
I'm gonna be a thief. Like my dad.
They have Netflix already had. Well, they had the Fuller House.
Yeah,
they had the '90s show.
Yeah. So, like, sequel sitcoms, they look. This is what's probably gonna happen. It's probably gonna do well enough to get 2 or 3 seasons, and then it'll go away, just like Animaniacs did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna bring back, or what's her name?
Who
from the Cosby Show.
Oh, not Felicia Rashad,
No.
although she's coming up later. Not Tempest Bledsoe. Shit, who is this girl?
Zoe's mom.
Something. It's not Kravitz, right?
No, it used to be, but then she changed it back.
Vanessa, right?
No. She wasn't Vanessa. She was damn it. Look up the Cosby Show cast.
Okay.
Because her name is literally just, I can see her. She's light skinned. She always had
Lisa Bonet.
They should bring her back because
they're probably not going to.
Denise Huxtable.
The
reason why they should bring her back is because I learned the reason why they took her off the show for both the Different World and that they
because she
cut
was
her out.
She was pregnant.
And Cosby was mad about that.
Yeah.
And then if you see, like, and someone mentioned this on social media about how, like, after she got back from Hillman, her storylines always surrounded, like, her being kind of a terrible daughter and, like, annoying. Yeah. And it was because that's when she came back to the show because she had been fighting with Cosby and he did not like that she didn't basically ask him, her, a grown woman, can I have a child because I want one.
Who would have thought that the man who has issues when it comes to power over women would later be the monster that he clearly is?
So
oh wait, I should have reworded that differently. I should have worded it like this. Wait, what? You're telling me that Cosby had some sort of issue when it comes to exerting his power over women?
Who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
That is a shocker.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about Different World, do you want to talk about the Felicia Rashad thing?
Sure. Let's talk about Felicia Rashad.
All right. So Felicia Rashad recently did a interview on The Breakfast Club, and she had some interesting things to say about women of this generation and their attire.
You know, you came up in an era, Miss Rashad, where dignity and grace were everything. So do you ever look at how wild Hollywood is now and you just think to yourself, boy, y'all got it easy. Y'all wouldn't have got away with that in my day.
Yeah, you'd have to look at Hollywood. I could look at the way young ladies dress.
I knew I should have worn some other pants.
You got your ass
I'm not
out.
talking about that. I'm talking about
elbow, shoulder over here. I just, you want my coat?
The young ladies are so beautiful. They're so beautiful. And something has happened in popular culture. You know, and I don't mean to be critical, and I hope young ladies listening don't take this as personal criticism, because I don't mean it that way. But you're young queens. I'm taken aback when I see on a college campus young women dressed in strips of clothing. But more importantly than that, no man wants his woman to be out like that. Right?
No, I grew up on Method Man saying, wearing 3/4 of cloth, never showing your stuff off. Boo.
That's right. But not only that, it's like there's today's designers. I mean, there's ways. There are other things, and I just
leave something to the imagination.
Yeah,
it would be nice.
Some things are for my eyes only.
Yep, and like you said, there are ways of being sexy without showing so much.
Oh, please, and that's really not sexy.
So before we talk about it, I just want to show.
She's showing her Cosby.
I just want to show you some pictures.
Oh my God, she's becoming Cosby. She's becoming Bill Cosby.
I want to show you some pictures of some women from generations ago. Starting off with Felicia Rashad. She was doing
Is this Felicia Rashad?
Yeah, she did an album.
Why are I so crazy?
She was doing an album of dedicated to what's her name, Josephine Baker. If you know Josephine Baker,
yeah,
she famously wore the bikini top and banana underwear. And here's some other women in very short shorts. You can see this woman's nipples and her. I think that's Linda Ronstadt, I believe.
Yeah, I think I got banana underwear right now.
Here's some magazines. This is the Zebras, short shorts. Some more hot pants. Here we are. Here is the legendary Diana Ross in a see-through shirt with her nipples covered. Cher with the man that wanted her, who didn't care about her. You could almost see her bad. She only has a little strip between it.
Oh, okay. I was looking up at the top trying to figure out what's going on up there.
And then Aretha Franklin, boobs hanging out. Now, these are the thing about that annoys me with these sort of conversations when they're like, oh, women these days, girls these days, they're just dressing any type of way. Women have, from the time of like flapper girls, there have been women who have been wearing scantily clad clothing outside, out and about, with men on their arm, okay? Like, if you are a grown-up, you should be able to wear whatever you want to wear. And I'm not talking about little girls. I was just having this conversation with one of my best friends about how, like, I feel like the age range for wearing, like, short shorts and things like that are, like, from newborn to, like, 7, because you don't really have anything, and then maybe, like, 16 and up, because at 16, even though you're still a young girl, like, you are getting older, you're getting closer to adulthood, you have more agency over your body, and hopefully you'll have a little bit more sense. Like, and definitely at 18, like, you're an adult, you should be able to wear what you want, and who cares? Like, I remember in the Women of Howard group that I'm in, people were commenting about, like, oh, I'm on campus, and these girls are wearing booty shorts and nothing. Like, okay, who cares? They're in college, they're getting an education. Who cares what they're wearing? I famously wear as little clothing as possible whenever I can.
This is true.
If I'm going
this
out,
is absolutely true. Instagram's gonna cut off soon. Jump to the YouTube stream to continue. Sorry, continue.
I don't like wearing a bra. I do not like having to wear, like, long pants or skirts. If it's hot outside, like right now it's getting hot. It was like 78 degrees the other day, And if I wanted to wear a pair of booty shorts, I would wear those booty shorts. Who the fuck cares? It's a time and place, of course. I'm not going to go to my school wearing coochie cutters. But if I'm going to the beach, if I'm going to the pool, if I'm going out and to hang around and just be outside, yeah, maybe you might see some cheek because these are my fucking cheeks, and who the fuck cares? And I'll tell you what, I've never not had a man on my arm, and in my life, tell me, oh, why are you wearing that? If they tried to,
aren't you so lucky?
I would say, well, fuck you, because who the fuck cares? This is my body. It's my body. It's my choice of what I want to wear. Men walk around shirtless all the time. They can have their whole tops out, but just because I have breasts, that means that I'm not supposed to have my body. It's hot outside. And the only reason that you are so concerned about your body being out is because some puritanical white man hundreds of years ago looked at you, got a boner, and said, oh, the shame. Like, it's fucking hot outside. Why should I have to wear a bunch of clothes when I'm sweating already? Be concerned about yourself. We don't have time for these respectability politics. There's so many more important things that we have to concern ourselves with than what another woman is wearing on her body. Okay, if she's not 14 years old, 12 years old, or whatever, I'm not saying that a 12-year-old should come out going to her school prom wearing the Little Kim's outfit from the MTV Awards.
What kind of 12-year-old is going to a school prom?
They have proms for
no, they have
school.
dances. They're not
no,
proms.
Like they will sometimes call them proms, like a middle school prom. Either way, I'm not suggesting that they should be allowed to come out with one breast showing, but who the fuck cares if a grown woman wants to have her body out? That is her body to do what she wants. If you want to walk around in fucking stockings and a floor-length jean skirt, go ahead and do that. Nobody's stopping you. Why are you so concerned with what other people are wearing? That should be, only person that should be concerned about that is the person wearing the clothes. If they feel uncomfortable, then they feel uncomfortable, and they can decide what to do that for themselves. But if I walk out the house and I feel comfortable with what I'm wearing, then I feel comfortable with it. And there shouldn't be any sort of conversation. I think this is stupid that we're still constantly having these talks when we can see
we're always gonna have these talks.
But we see
because people get older, their sensibilities change, and then they go back and say, "Oh, it wasn't like this back in my day," even though it was that back in your day.
Micro mini skirts were the rage in the 60s, the 70s. Those were micro minis where you couldn't even probably bend down, but without showing all your stuff.
Yeah.
Booty shorts didn't just become popular in the 90s.
Coochie cutters.
They have been hot pants. Have been a thing forever. And who cares? If a man cannot control himself because he sees a little bit of skin, that is his problem.
Yeah.
That he needs to get checked out.
The problem would be more culturally, like, maybe teach guys to control themselves when they see these things, as opposed to let's police these women into wearing specific things.
Now, my only thing is, I want women and girls to recognize that you should be dressing for yourself and not the male gaze. Because if you're wearing,
not to be confused with male gaze, homosexual men.
Because I do want to dress for the male gaze because I want them to tell me, "Girl, you look good."
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody wants a compliment from a gay man.
Because I remember, I don't remember where I was going.
I dream of one day getting a compliment from a gay man.
I had on these booty shorts and my cowboy boots, and I was going somewhere, and several aunties were stopping me on my way to the train, like, "You go, girl. Oh, I like that outfit. I was just a few years younger." Like that, and I love that. Like, because they weren't shaming me. They weren't trying to tell me put some clothes on or whatever bullshit. They were like, "Good for you for wearing something that maybe I wouldn't have felt comfortable wearing at when I was your age. But I see you wearing that, and I love it. Go off."
Yeah.
And that is what we should be. We should be empowering young ladies to feel comfortable in their skin and to say fuck you to any man who is going to judge them because they are not wearing what these men allegedly find suitable. When you go through these men's search histories and the people they're following on social media, I bet you they're not all wearing fucking nun outfits and burqas. I bet you that much. So who are you to tell me what a man was like? Because I know that I've never had any issue with the men on my arm and what clothing I'm wearing.
To be fair, the men on your arm know that their input means very little. Like you're gonna do whatever the fuck you're gonna do. So any kind of input that the guy has means very, very little. It's not gonna change anything. Don't really like it that your butt cheeks are showing, and you're gonna be like, so. Well,
but it's not stopped. I haven't stopped anybody. No one's ever broken up with me because they didn't like that I had booty shorts on. That's for sure. So, Miss Rashad, respectfully, find something safe to do. Okay?
Yeah, go be a part of the Krumpets.
Oh, the Krumpets.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the title.
That'd be a good title. That'd be a good title.
Is it K or C?
Well, Krumpets is usually with C, but K makes it interesting.
Okay, then the Krumpets.
All right. So, do you want to talk about Marvel stuff or new music stuff?
Let's do Marvel stuff. Get that out the way.
Okay. So, well, the first one, which is some sad news. Apparently Blade is officially going to, it's rumored that it's officially going to be canceled because it's been removed from the 2025 release calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this was going to be helmed by Mahershala Ali, who we love.
And it sucks because Mahershala Ali hasn't been in anything
since 2019. This has been on the books, and I literally
what do you remember the last thing he was in?
No,
was it Green Book? Oh wait, no, he was in Spider-Man. He was in
Spider-Man.
Wasn't Mahershala Ali the Prowler in Spider-Man?
Wait,
Enter the Spider-Verse?
Was that the animated one?
Yeah.
So yeah, he was. He was Uncle Aaron.
He's also in Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah.
So the last thing he was in was Leave the World Behind, which was the Netflix one, which I still haven't seen. I've heard that was good.
Yeah.
So he has been kind of just on the fence. And somebody the other day had put up a video like, where is Mahershala Ali? Like, he won this Oscar. He's done so much good work. And we have not seen him for like 6 years really on the big screen. Like Netflix, he had the Apple movie Swan Song, which I heard was really good.
He was in the second season of Remy.
Oh, yeah, he was in Remy. He was in Invincible. He was in True Detective came out in 2019.
Is he in Invincible?
Yeah, he played 2 episodes. He was Titan, the voice of Titan.
Yes, he is. He is in Invincible. Oh, yeah. And he's so good at Invincible.
He was also in Eternals as Eric Brooks / the Blade, but his voice was uncredited, which is interesting. So the last big thing he was in was Leave the World Behind, which was the next Netflix movie, and that came out in 2023. And so this has been holding him back since 2019. We've been waiting for this to come out. It's had multiple delays, directors, writer changes.
At one point, they had Blade as like the third main character in his own movie.
It's been a lot of back and forth, and I feel bad because Mahershala Ali deserves better.
He's a talent. He's a talent.
Great actor.
Yes, he
is. Honestly,
is.
you know what? Maybe take out Majors from Kang and switch him if you're not gonna put him in Blade.
You think Mahershala Ali could play
I think he could be Kang, or he could be. They talking about recasting.
I mean, if he was going to be Blade, but Blade.
If they were gonna, so they're talking
Blade
about,
isn't as powerful as Kang, though.
They're
Blade is
talking
like a
about-
street level superhero.
if they're recasting Blade or Kang, and if they're recasting Black Panther, I think that Mahershala Ali could be either of them.
You think Mahershala Ali would be a good Black Panther?
I do think so.
Okay, I could see
He's
it.
a great actor.
I guess I could see it.
I think that you put
No,
him
he is a
anywhere,
great
and I
actor.
can
I'm not
see it.
saying he's not a great actor.
I think if you put him in either one of those roles,
It's
that
just
he
that
would do
I
it.
was so looking forward to him being Blade. I
Yeah.
could see it.
I
Like,
can really
you know what I
see
mean?
him being Blade, like it was
With the
like you just-
glasses
yeah.
and now this just reminds me of the Deadpool movie where where Wesley Snipes is like, there's only gonna be one Blade. Ain't no other Blades. He knew they're just not making any other Blades.
Wesley Snipes had co-signed him being Blade. Like, yeah, like he'd be doing well. He would do great at it. Like, he looks forward to passing that torch.
Yeah.
But that is just up in the air. And I don't know
That's
why.
how the cookie crumbles.
I feel like there's no reason why it should be so, it shouldn't have this much shenanigans around it. Because it's not that difficult it cannot be that difficult of a movie to make. Like, we've seen the first one, you're redoing it, get some scripts out. Like, the strike's over.
Read some Blade comics and study up on the source material. That's all.
You can't tell me you can't find another great producer and director.
You're telling me Blade doesn't have a good storyline? Ooh, Mahershala Ali would be great as Spawn.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
That would be cool.
But do you think that Spawn is too, like, R-rated for...
Yeah, so it's not Marvel.
What is it, DC?
No, it's not DC either. It's like Image Comics. But that's a good question. Who owns Spawn? That's a really... I think it's New Line Cinema who owns Spawn. Who owns movie rights to Spawn? Spawn belongs to an independent comic. Oh, Image, yeah, like I said, Image Comics. But it doesn't say who owns the movie rights to it. All right, it doesn't matter. Todd McFarlane, who created Spawn, owns the right to Spawn. So shout out to the creator owning the rights to his own properties.
And this is about the Green Lantern.
Okay.
Because we didn't get to talk about that last week, but I just wanted to throw it in there real quick. Because this is actually good news that the Green Lantern has been cast. And the drum roll, please. J. Alphonse Nicholson from P-Valley is going to be the Green Lantern. He's going to be Kyle Chandler. And Aaron Pierre is going to be on it, and Kelly McDonald. I don't know who Kelly McDonald is.
He's not going to be Kyle Chandler. He's going to join the leads Kyle Chandler and Aaron Pierre.
Oh, I
and
read
series
that wrong.
regular Kelly McDonald. He's playing a key recurring role in Lanterns.
John Stewart Sr.
Which would not necessarily mean that he is John Stewart. That might mean that he's playing the father of maybe a younger version of John Stewart.
Okay, well,
that's still a good role.
It's still a good role for him. I'm glad that he's getting, because P-Valley has been in friggin' development limbo for a while. They keep pushing back the next season, so
yeah,
good for him.
Yeah.
And now for some Marvel news, they have announced so far the characters who are going to be joining us in Avengers Doomsday. So this is a huge list of people. Some folks you'll see on here, of course, Robert Downey Jr., because he's supposed to be Doom. Lashana Lynch is going to be there.
Tom Hiddleston.
I saw
Benedict Cumberbatch.
John David Washington. Denzel Washington's son is going to be on here.
Chris Hemsworth.
Patrick Stewart,
Zendaya.
Mark Ruffalo.
Does that say Vanessa Kirby?
Where is that?
Second row, all the way to the left.
Yes, Vanessa Kirby. Hold on, I have one with the pictures, which is not all of them, but here's
Lashana Lynch, Benedict Wong. Well, of course, Benedict Wong.
Here's one with the pictures of the folks so that you can see them. Now,
oh, they're gonna have Namor in them.
Yeah, which is interesting because Namor has had some.
He's got weird cases, right?
He's got some weird cases.
Okay, well,
but
I'm sure a certain major would be like, "How come he gets to be in the movie?"
Yeah, it's true. So apparently, it's gonna be
Paul Rudd.
There are characters from the MCU, including X-Men, Fantastic Four, and the Thunderbolts are going to be included.
Yeah.
I have not seen the Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts hasn't come out yet. It's coming out this year.
The filming is starting in this April. It's going to be the crossover, which is cool with the X-Men, Fox's X-Men, and the MCU, which I think that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm going to want to see it. I'm curious what they do with
now,
it.
is this my confusion is this Doomsday or is this Secret Wars? Because Secret Wars is like a multiversal sort of
it's
thing.
an Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
So
I'll see it when I see it. I'll see it when I see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've made it no secret that this past phase has not been all that or a bag of chips. I mean, I will say this, I am enjoying Daredevil so far.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, I have to finish watching the most recent 2-part episodes.
Well, one of the Marvel execs said that production has started but not yet filming. They're still building sets. The filming only starts in April, and they still don't have a finalized script. So we could get more people.
That's not a great fucking thing at all. Like, you're building sets and you don't have a finished
because
script.
I don't think they
finish
have
the goddamn script.
They don't have anyone yet for Storm. I don't see Jean Grey there. I didn't see Wolverine in the names.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna be in the movie. Gene Hackman. Sorry, Hugh Jackman.
Yes,
Gene Hackman.
R.I.P.
Hugh Jackman is gonna be Wolverine forever, but doesn't necessarily mean he's coming back to be Wolverine in this movie.
Maybe they'll have his daughter.
Who?
And remember the one from Logan?
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, they have a lot of people. It's 27 people that they have. Letitia Wright's coming back. Paul Rudd. They have a lot of folks, so I'm curious of what they're gonna do with this.
Simu Liu, good for him that he's coming back. Oh God, is Awkwafina gonna be in this thing? I hope
not. Florence Pugh's gonna be the Black Widow. But she apparently is in Thunderbolts. People were saying that they felt like this was this.
Yeah, she's Yelena. Yeah,
they were saying that this rollout kind of spoiled Thunderbolts for them, but I don't know why. Because I'm not
because it means that they know who the Thunderbolts who are gonna live.
But what if this is supposed to be happening like before the Thunderbolts are shot? Maybe they're still gonna end up dying.
That only happened once with Black Widow, where the thing was chronologically before a different thing in the timeline. Like, pretty much anything that comes out is like, this is the next thing in the sacred timeline, you know?
Yeah. Well, Winston Duke's coming back, which is going to be great. I always love M'Baku. He always does a great job and very funny.
I want to name my child M'Baku.
And I'm looking forward for Alan Cumming going to be back as Nightcrawler.
I want to name my daughter Alan Cumming.
Can you shut up? But Channing Tatum is coming back as Gambit,
which is awesome. That's awesome.
And Pedro Pascal is going to be Mr. Fantastic.
Well, yeah, he's going to be in the Fantastic Four movie.
When it says Fantastic Four, the first steps coming out 2025. When?
I think that's coming out this summer. Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't you see the trailer for it?
No, I didn't see the trailer.
You haven't seen the trailer for Fantastic Four? It looks like it's going to be interesting.
I know. People hated the first Fantastic Four. They didn't like the one with Michael B.
Well,
Jordan.
no, it's just that the first two Fantastic Fours were really campy.
Yeah.
And then
I liked that. I thought that was fun.
But then the reboot was too edgy and too dark, and it was awful.
I'm surprised that what's his name is going to be back here.
Who?
Did I see him
Namor?
on this? No. Not Paul Rudd. Did I see Captain America on here? Or maybe I just was looking at
Chris Hemsworth?
No, because Chris Hemsworth is Thor. Maybe never mind. Maybe I was seeing Chris Hemsworth and thinking of Chris one of the other
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine. No. That's not Captain America.
No, you're right. Chris.
There's so many of them. Captain America is who? This guy. What's this guy's name?
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans. There's so many Chris's. So many white Chris's.
No more white Chris's. We need a moratorium.
Change your name.
No, we need a moratorium at least like 2 decades for white kids being named Chris.
Can't do it.
We need to bring back more white people named Dante and less white people and Jerome and less white people named Chris.
I'm here for that.
Because everybody hates Chris. Why am I saying all? He's doing okay.
He's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing good. Anyhow, continue.
So, I'm looking forward to this. Now, is this supposed to be? Someone said it's supposed to be X-Men against the.
That could be the storyline that they're going with. X-Men versus the Avengers. That's a storyline in the comic books, which would be cool if they actually do that. That would be a great way to introduce the X-Men, just being like, oh, it's going to be mutants versus metahumans.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. A lot of noise.
Happening.
A lot of noise.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I want to watch it. I want to see what's going on. All right. The Last of Us has given us an update on this next season. They are going to have a bottle episode, which I had never heard about before.
What do you mean? You've never heard of the term bottle episode?
I've never heard of the term bottle episode.
Really?
Mm-mm.
No.
You were the film major, not me.
Okay, yeah.
Explain to us what a bottle episode is.
A bottle episode is an episode where it's primarily just the main characters in one specific location. Usually a lot of series will have a bottle episode to save resources, but it's basically the characters bouncing off of each other. Think the episode of Community where they're trapped in not trapped, but they lock themselves into the library. Think the episode The Fly and Breaking Bad. Those are the 2 famous bottle episodes. I'll look up to see more bottle episodes.
Well, the bottle episodes that we had for season 1 of The Last of Us was the Bill and Frank episode.
Yes. That would be considered a bottle episode because it took place in one specific location and it was 2 specific characters.
So it says
bouncing
that,
off each other.
While it can impact the plot, the story often stands on its own. So I'm curious of what the bottle episode is going to be.
Oh, The Box, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Remember the episode where Sterling K. Brown was there and it was the interrogation room and it was just him and Adam Sandberg and Andre Braugher?
I don't remember. I've watched the whole season multiple times, but I don't remember that one.
Maybe put that on your list of things to binge watch. Yeah.
After Law and Order is finished.
It's never going to be finished.
I got to watch Criminal Intent.
No, you don't. You don't have to watch them.
I got to watch Criminal Intent next. I've already started. I can't stop now.
You can, though. You have the power to.
So I'm curious what this is going to be. I already know from what I've read that season 2 is going to start off very sad. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it's supposed to be very sad. And reading on Nerdist, The Last of Us has announced that Eugene, who's a character from the game, is going to join the series. Joe Paviantano is going to be Eugene. So curious.
Really?
How that arc will go. And
interesting.
I'm really curious of what's going to happen, how they're going to work out this season, and what one of the actors who are we know. I'm not going to spoil it, but we do know in this season we are going to lose a pivotal character, and I'm curious how this is going to work because there's just a lot to do. And
warning.
How long?
If it's based off of the game, then we know that it's going to follow the game closely, and in the game, some shit happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So some folks in Nerdist, they said they maybe will get a bottle episode for Abby, who characters get to know in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be interesting. I would like to get a bottle episode of like.
Oh, they technically had 2 bottle episodes because the episode, well,
with her and
that other girl who were in the mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the bottle episode for The Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just looking forward to The Last of Us, period. The season's going to be intense.
I'm not looking forward to it because it's going to be intense, but I'm going to watch it still.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to break it up into 2 parts.
Do you think, how many episodes do they usually have? Like 6?
Well, I mean, the first season had 8 or 10. Did it have 10 or did it have 8? It felt short.
Yeah, it did feel short. I'm not sure how many episodes. Let's see. On IMDb, it says they had 16 episodes.
No, they had 9.
So why did it say 16?
That's because they're counting the new episodes too. Season 2.
Oh, yeah, okay, they did have 9.
Yeah.
And then season 2 on IMDb so far. Oh, they have 7 episodes for that one. I wonder if that's all of them or if they're just still filming them.
That's what I want to know. I don't think they're still filming them, but I do wonder if they are gonna have like a season 2 part 2. You know what I mean, as opposed to like a 3rd season.
Yeah,
because it's a big game to fit into
just 9 episodes.
I mean, there's 2 games. There's The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm.
The first season covers pretty much the first game.
Mm-hmm.
The second season should cover the second game, but the second game has a lot of stuff to cover. And I don't know if they could do it all in just 1 season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just me.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
You ready to move on to new music?
Sure.
All right. So, did you know that Will Smith has a new album out?
I did, and I don't know if you were listening, but I was playing some of this old man rap.
Well,
old man rapping. Oh shit! Really?
He has a new album that came out on the 28th of March, his first album in 20 years, and it's called Based on a True Story.
Yes.
In it, he's going to address the 2022 Oscar slap, his marriage with Jada, and he'll have some public criticism along with their interloped, whatever that's called. Extrapolated. Or is it? Yeah, extrapolated. In there. So, I mean, I've listened to it a little bit. I don't necessarily know how
Jaden is on there.
Jaden, his son?
Yeah, is on one of the songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not really interested in this album. I've been listening to it and it's like, I feel like this is some stuff that my dad would like.
Yeah. Well, your dad said he lost all respect for him after the slap. So
yeah, wow.
Probably won't be listening to it.
Probably. Yeah.
It's gotten mixed reviews from the critics.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure because he has this song about the slap that people will come and try and listen to it, at least for that. I personally, like, I'm not necessarily interested, but hey, he's gonna put out music. He's an artist and an actor, so if he's not acting, you know, he'll have this to fall back on.
Yeah,
and I'm sure people will listen to it. I mean, I think the only song that I really want to actually listen to again is the one where he's talking about the slap. That's really.
I do want to hear about that one. If listeners, if y'all are suffering through this album like I am, please let me know what song it is that he's actually referring to about the slap, so that I can just listen to that and not listen to this whole
Barbershop Day.
Barbershop Day.
Yeah, I believe that's what it's called.
Okay, I'll listen to that after this.
In one of the lyrics for Barbershop Day, he says, "Him and Jada both crazy, girl. What you talking about? You better keep his wife's name out your mouth," is one of the lyrics.
Oh, wait a minute. I think that's the very first fucking song.
Yeah, well, hey.
Yeah, yeah, Barbershop Day featuring Jazzy Jeff
he has a
and
video for it too.
B Simone. Oh God, no.
B Simone's on there?
B Simone, yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Will Smith, and B Simone.
Okay. Well, and this is one of the verses, which is on the album. It says, "You decided to instigate it, and now you got me. I'm motivated. I take a beat. I'm spitting heat. I'm on fire, incinerated. I'm way too calculated for me to ever get dominated. If I was you and I saw me, I'd see why you'd be aggravated. Took a lot. I'm back on top. Y'all gonna have to get acclimated. Won't stop. My shit's still hot, even though I won't get nominated. Personal life with my wife, mind your business. It's complicated. All that matters is the fact that I'm still getting compensated. Cash." So, you know, hey, if you got the studio money and the producer money, you know, go right ahead.
More power to you, Will.
More
power to
you.
Yeah.
Next up, we have YG just released a new song called 2004.
These photos that you get.
This is the photo. This is still from the video.
Oh, this is he has a music video for this?
He has a music video for
Holy
it.
shit.
It's called 2004, featuring Buddy and the Gang. It came out on Friday, March 28th. It was produced by DJ Swish, your boy NOIS, and Smokey Beats. And literally the first line of the song is, "When I was young, I got raped by a bitch twice my age." And then goes on to say, "Picked me up from school, took me to hers, and got laid. And since that day, I've never looked at you the same. My life is insane, like I'm from Baby Gang, how I'm supposed to change with all the fucked up shit I've seen. Fucked up, yeah, I know. Fucked up and some more. I'm so used to fucking up. I got fucked up at the show. Fucked up, yeah, I know. How fucked up could it go? Nipsey left me like how Biggie left Hove." It's a very sad song, to be honest. And honestly, I want to just applaud him for his vulnerability.
Yeah, like I listened to this, and when I heard the first line, I was like, "Holy shit, this is intense."
Because he's talking about when he was 14 years old.
Over a dope beat.
He was 14. He was going out with this girl, and her aunt, who was 30 years old at the time, abused him. He goes on to say, "The bitch took advantage of me. I ain't got no trust. The bitch took advantage of me. I ain't got no choice. At 14 years old, I got my dick sucked. At 14 years old, I got my dick sucked by a hoe that was 30 years old. And I never told. Was dating her niece when this happened. It was hard on my soul. Because me and her auntie kept fucking for sure. Then, one day I felt like this was too much. I knew this wasn't regular. As I grew up, she told me to eat her ass. After that, I threw up. Can't believe I had my face in her butt."
Yeah.
It was, I think this is a very vulnerable song. It's an important song in the sense that there are so many men who have had unfortunate situations with older women that they might not even see as an assault. And
I think that's very prevalent within men.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of men out there who have probably had sexual encounters with older women when they were teenagers.
Or younger than teenagers.
I mean,
unfortunately.
Yeah. Like, or young teenagers. And it is unfortunately seen as like some sort of bragging right within the male space, but really this song points out what it is, you know, and it is
because
it's fucked up.
He's
it's
talking
some fucked
about
up shit.
how this has colored all of his life. I'm sure it's colored his relationships. It's colored his, you know, any sort of sexual relationships, romantic relationships he's had, and everything else, because that having that happen to you and not having anyone to talk to about it. He talks about not talking to his mom about it and just feeling since then like shit has just been going awry and not being able to put his finger on it. But, you know, shout outs to him for being able to come out and say, you know what, this was wrong. Because it was. I remember years ago, Chris Brown was in an interview and they had asked him when he lost his virginity. He said it was when he was 8 years old to like one of his mom's friends or his babysitter or something like that. And I remember when it happened, they were just like laughing about it. They weren't even acting like this was like a
They
trauma.
were probably like, oh damn, like for sure.
That
Like
happens a lot. And it's just
it does
like,
happen a lot. It's very prevalent. It's very prevalent.
I'm sure that the reason why there are so many men out there who have difficulty having relationships and holding down relationships and being vulnerable, it's due to this. Like there are way too many men that I know personally who have had this happen to them. And of course, like when we talk about girls and it happening, everyone's in an uproar because the patriarchy and seeing women as these like docile little flowers and pure and no one should talk to them or touch them. But the same needs to be that same energy.
The same energy needs to be applied to young boys.
We need to be protecting them and making sure they're good, they're safe. Like that's why like I hate when seeing like older women talking about, oh, that's my little boyfriend, or he's going to be so sexy when he grows up. Like there's never a reason for us to look at a child and talk about them in any sort of sexual way, to wait for them, talking about, oh, wait till he's 18 or any of that. Like that's gross. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
You need help if that is how you are talking about a child.
Yeah, it is.
And I just hope that this song helps more men, you know, come to terms with things that have happened to them, reach out to someone, speak out about it, and, you know, help yourself heal, because this is, unfortunately, that is, I would say, an epidemic in our communities where young boys are not being taken care of and they're not being watched over, because people always see men as like, oh, they're supposed to be so sexual and from a young age and boys will be boys. But in reality, like a child is still a child regardless. And there's never a time when it is okay or appropriate for an adult to be talking to a child in any way outside of mentor, auntie, uncle. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That if you're not trying to have that sort of helpful relationship with a child, you shouldn't be talking to a child at all. Well, that's what we have for pop culture. Are you ready to move into things that made us happy and that pissed us off?
Yes, I am ready. Or at least I'm getting ready. And
stay ready. You don't
have to get ready. Here we go.
Bringing it. What? We gripe, yeah. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe, yeah. This safe space for us to share. We gripe, yeah. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe, yeah.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Okay. These spam emails have lost their fucking mind.
And the text messages, the freaking
the calls, the text messages, and like
the easy pass.
You take out one loan, and it started to happen on this phone too. Like I'm starting to get calls on this phone. where they're like, oh yeah, your Easy Pass is you have to pay that. I'm like,
I don't have a
you
car.
don't know that I don't drive.
Like,
so.
do better research before you start trying to scam folks out of money.
But the spam emails are getting insane. Here is the subject of this spam email. He touches your anus and shrinks your lemon-sized prostate, ? Exclamation point, ... surprise face. Here's another one. Drop your blood sugar by 150 points with this mind blown emoji.
Are they putting emojis in the subject?
Yeah, see, look. And the last one I'm going to go with. Want to look 10 years younger? Here's the secret fire emoji.
What is this? The fucking government small group signal chat? Stop putting emojis in.
Stop emailing me.
Stop emailing
and
me.
They have and I know that they're selling my data. I feel like they're selling my data every time I do unsubscribe, because when I do unsubscribe, they say, what is your email address?
Someone said that when you were signing...
And then as soon as I give them my email address, they say, oh, you're unsubscribed. That just means that they're compiling a list of all the people who have unsubscribed to sell them to some other fucking bunch of scammers.
Someone suggested that when you're signing up for anything that asks for your email, if it's like your first name, you put your name, and the last name, put like whatever company that was and your email. So that way, if you get a spam email, it'll show the company there. So that way you can find out who's selling your data. Which I think
but then that makes so that you have to have a bunch of different emails.
No, you use your same email, but if you're putting your name, if you put your name and like, Cosmopolitan or whatever, it'll show up when you get that email. It says your name, so it'll say your name and whatever that company is.
I see what you're saying. The ones I've been doing have just been asking for my email to unsubscribe. Like, what is the email address that you want to unsubscribe?
But when you just sign up for something, like, sometimes you'll just have to put your email in to sign up for something.
Sure.
In that aspect, put your name next to your name, put the company, and then you'll know, because there's no reason for you to have this many spam emails. And it's constantly, even when you have your spam protector or whatever in your email, you're still getting them.
Yeah, McAfee, you're supposed to be helping me out.
They are not.
They are not. Even though there's no McAfee on my iPhone. But iPhone was supposed to prevent this from happening. But still. Whatever. It's fine.
Anything else making you mad?
I think that's it for the moment. What about you? What's making you mad?
Well, first, Kanye and DJ Academics have gotten together again.
Damn it.
DJ Academics was talking to him, I guess, at his home. And if you see here, Kanye West is wearing his Black Klansman outfit, which looks absolutely
not to be confused
ridiculous
with Black Klansman, the movie.
No, because that was actually
by Spike Lee. It was a really good movie.
A good Spike Lee joint.
Yes.
And Kanye goes on a tirade throughout this interview, calling all these different rappers like Jay-Z, John Legend,
Pusha T.
The F-bomb is being flown around.
Oh yeah, he's throwing that F-bomb like, and by F-bomb I mean the gay slur.
Yes. At one point he was trying to say that like he doesn't hate Kendrick. He just doesn't like that he said he was number one, and he's not number one. I'm number one. He called himself close to God at one point. He just like, I want him to go away. You are in the sick and shut in list. Honestly, this is probably going to be the last time.
I think this should be the last time that we talk about him,
because he just continues to go deeper.
Let's
and deeper.
create a moratorium on talking about Kanye West.
He needs to be in
for
someplace
a year.
Like, he needs to be fully medicated. He needs a conservatorship. He needs somebody looking over his shoulder anytime he does, and he needs people like DJ Academics, who obviously DJ Academics loves this, to stop talking with him about these things like it's normal. Like it's not. It's not normal. You need help. Okay? Yeah. You need help. He was wearing, when he came in, like DJ Academics came to his house, and he was wearing some kind of like swastika KKK necklace pendant thing. It was just so,
he has one of those.
So
he has a swastika necklace, diamond encrusted. So fuck the jeweler who created that.
I mean, they want money. They're just like, whatever. Yeah. They're gonna take your money. Whatever. I don't care. Just take my money. Like that's what they're just gonna like. Whatever. I need to pay my mortgage this month. So let me make whatever stupid thing. The same as the person who created that KKK outfit for him.
Speaking of, we need to finish watching Uncut Gems.
Oh my God, we do. Every time we always fall asleep, or at least I know I always fall asleep. Not because it's a bad movie. It's just like it's a long movie, and I always get sleepy. The next thing that's pissing me off is I would like people to stop putting on me their own bullshit and trying to guilt people for things because they're having a hard time. We are all going through things. We are not living just in the lap of luxury. All of us are having difficulties, and you cannot put your difficulties on me because you decided to take on more than you can handle. If you cannot handle things, then just let them go. There's nobody forcing you to do anything, and do not try to put it on me that I'm forcing you to do something because I got my own shit going on. Mm-hmm. We all have our own shit going on. So if you've taken something on, you've taken that on. You can't blame somebody else for what you've taken on and then try to like shame them for whatever because you don't agree, whatever. And Viola Davis actually said something that I saw. This video came up of her doing some sort of like panel discussion. And she said, if it ever comes between disappointing yourself and disappointing others, always pick disappointing others.
Sure.
Okay, because you are more important.
Yeah.
And that is 100% how I feel. I really don't give a fuck about what anybody else feels. It's about how I feel and how I'm moving through the world. If you have an issue with that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, agreed.
That's it. That's all that's making me angry.
All right, so let's move into the things that's making us happy.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
What is making you happy?
All right. Number one, I saw this video from Tyreek Told You, who's one of my like new favorite social media talking heads. And I will show it to you.
How the you read Cthulhu and say Cthulhu? Because I do what the I want. I pronounce his name as Cthulhu because unlike you, I read the scrolls. I know the incantations and I know what happens when you pronounce his name properly. And that's why I don't with you fake wannabe magicians and you washed up wizards thinking y'all know everything. You do not know black magic like I know black magic. Future is down there in Atlanta summoning all types of demons to do God knows what. And rather than try to book a flight to Georgia and take the Necronomicon away from him, you want to police my pronunciations in the comments? Future is about to destroy the planet. I called him Cthulhu, and I'm going to keep calling him Cthulhu. Cthulhu, Cthulhu, Cthulhu. That sounds like a Pokemon. And then y'all wonder why the government wants to ban all these books. Y'all clearly are not responsible enough to have the books, because look at what you're doing with them. I pronounce things the way I want to pronounce them.
I love that. And it's the energy we need.
I thought that was very funny, and I love him. He always has very funny takes on social media. Also, a bitty bitty bum bum, Yolena Saldivar who mercilessly killed Selena, has been denied her parole, and she will not be eligible again until 2030. If you do not know who Yolena Saldivar is, she was the president of Selena's fan club, and she shot and killed Selena March 31st, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going on almost 30 years. In a day, tomorrow, it'll be 30 years. The board said the record indicates that the incident offense has elements of brutality, violence, assaultive behavior, or conscious selection of victims' vulnerability, indicating a conscious disregard for the lives, safety, or property of others, such that the offender poses a continuing threat to public safety. Saldivar is now 64. She's serving a life sentence at the Patrick L. O'Daniel unit in Gatesville for the murder. And I'm very happy about this because recently, I don't know if you saw, but like she and her family put out this documentary basically trying to say that Selena was like this mean girl who was provoking her and she was just, defending herself for her life. No, I don't want to hear it, okay? Because it'll always and forever be anything for Selena's, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So she can stay there, enjoy her time with her crumpets over there, okay?
What would be the Latinx version of crumpets?
Crumpetos.
Okay, okay.
But no, I don't think she's actually going to be allowed because everyone hates her because she fucking killed Selena.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't even be allowed to be in the fucking Abuelitas gang because they probably are beating her up all the time because you killed Selena.
Mm-hmm.
And you deserve to spend every day of your life locked up. They won't let you out. And that's it.
Yeah.
And also doing this podcast with you.
Yes.
Getting to spend time with you in general. And yeah.
I would say doing this podcast with you is making my week happy. Hanging out with my best friend Sam. Shout out to him. And I look forward to shooting pool with you. Also, he introduced me to Baldur's Gate, which is a fun Dungeons and Dragons style game. It makes me realize how much of Dungeons and Dragons I am not familiar with because I only cared about like the story elements of it. I didn't really care about the other like logistics of like spell slots and fucking other characters. Like I didn't give a fuck about other characters other than my own. Like I just focused on what I could do, what I could bring to the table, and then I did that.
Mm-hmm.
But here we are. I am interested in playing the game, and we'll see how I do.
All right.
Yeah. And with that being said, if that's everything, then that's everything. So we're going to go in for the close. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. We'll be back next time with more of this. And until then, take it easy. Keep it sleazy.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy.